Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is REV Endurance Sports, and today I want to talk to you about the shoes I wore on BREST PARIS. PBP, a 1200, advertised as 1200 kilometer, 12,000 meter event. So turned out to be 1226. It was 12,000 meters, and for those in the imperial system, 762 miles with 40,000 feet of climbing. So it's important that I mention the distance of the event. It's also important that I mention the number of hours I spent pedaling the bike. So if you go to my Strava, you'll see it was 51 hours or so. And then there was off the bike time of, I think our total time was 86 hours. So let's say 35 hours of off the bike time. Now, if I go back to PBP, or I should say when I go back to PBP, there's a lot of off the bike time that I can cut out. So I really enjoyed the way that I did it. The times that I pulled into certain controls, I think were perfect. I think at the time that we pulled into, God, I wish I knew how to pronounce it. Villeneuve something. Anyway, that one, in both directions, there was a party at this place. It was amazing. The finish finished in daylight, about 10ish a.m. So lots of people at the finish line instead of rope crawling in at 3 o'clock in the morning, which, had we spent less time off the bike, probably would have got in about that many hours. I think I could easily take 12 hours off our time. So instead of 86 hours, I'd say we could have finished easily at 74 hours. But the time, pedaling, time off the bike, all of these things, accumulate. So if your feet are not comfortable, if you're not comfortable while pedaling the bike, and they're not comfortable when you're off the bike, that can be a real significant issue. So on the 200K, I think I wore these. I can't remember. But I know on the 400K and 600K, I wore these Lake CX. So these are the carbon sole with a lace up, but I use a stretchy lace up, so you don't have to tie and untie the laces, and they don't get caught in your chain rings, which I guess some people think they do, but it doesn't really happen. And in most cases, people think that if you wear lace-ups, oh, but I can't adjust my shoes while I'm riding. I need to tighten them for this and loosen them for that. And I don't know, how often do you adjust your running shoes during the day? I mean, you just put them on and that's that, right? So yeah, same situation here. Once you put it on, it's fine. You don't need to do any adjusting with them. So I wore those for the 400K and 600K. And then I started to think, I really think that my CX403s in the standard last, these are about 5 millimeters wider. And I thought, as I was doing my 400 and 600, I'm like, I should have a little bit wider toe box or just around the front of the foot, forefoot, just in case. But my feet didn't really swell or benefit from the 5 extra millimeters, because both of these shoes are the exact same size. 45, I should say, they're the same size, but they measure differently inside. But they're both 45s, and this shoe is 5 millimeters narrower. Well, I have an SQ Lab insole in it. I'm still curious about the Lake custom insoles. So if anyone out there has used them, make a comment down below. Let me know what you think about them. I'm still deciding on whether to use them. I've used these SQ Live insoles for many, many years, and I think they've changed the way that they do them now, but that's a topic for another video. So I thought, wow, these are great. As I was doing my longer and longer training rides, that's actually another video I should do. The training rides that I did to get ready for PvP. So maybe someone make a comment down below if you think you'd be interested to see what type of training I did to get ready for a 760 mile event, 1226K. So I used these on some of these longer training rides and my feet felt great. I'm like, okay, I should not be afraid of a race last. Now I have fairly standard feet. They're not wide, they're not fat here or anything like that. So okay, that feels pretty good. I didn't do any additional, like really long. I didn't do, like let's say a 400K or 600K again before going to Paris. So I didn't actually test these in a like let's say a 24-hour type period, but I felt fantastic during the entire event. Now some of you might recall from other videos that when I first got these shoes, this part here, I had to heat up the shoe and kind of spread it because, and by the way, this stuff down here is not adjustable, but right up here, that is adjustable. Heat moldable. So that little thing there was causing some concern as to whether I should ride multiple days in this shoe, but it turned out to be a non-issue. Now, here's a pro tip for today. When you go to PvP, and this was suggested by another rider, apparently at LEL, so London, Edinburgh, London, whenever you go to any of the controls, I guess they're inside gyms or something like that, they require you to remove your shoes, and then you can walk about, and then you come back, put your shoes back on as you exit the door. So someone had suggested that I get these kind of, like, I don't know, yoga flats or something like that. And these were amazing because the one thing that I was kind of alerted to, but it wasn't until I was there that I realized, wow, you come in through this big barricaded area, you park your bike over here, and then you got to walk all the way over there to get your passport stamped, and you got to walk all the way over there for restrooms or cafeterias. So I thought maybe people were exaggerating. I didn't realize how much walking you actually do. So a lot of folks use like a touring shoe, an SPD, so like a mountain bike style pedal and shoe, so they can walk around no problem. I like road shoes. I'm a roadie. I'm doing 760 miles on the road. I don't know. I do have mountain bike shoes, and maybe I'll use them next time. Not sure. Maybe I'll get another pair because if they're quite clunky. I've had them, I don't know, 10, 15 years at least. Actually more than 10 years, so probably 15 years. But these things were excellent. I don't know where my riding partner found them, so but I guess look for, I don't know, yoga shoes, yoga flats. Those things, I honestly think you should get a pair if you're thinking about doing, I don't know about LEL, because I guess if you're indoors, you're fine. You park your bike and then you walk with your shoes. But I just don't know how big or how long the distances are between where you park your bike, where you eat, where you use the porta potties and stuff like that. And then last thing before we go. I like these shoes so much that I'm going to get a custom pair made in a custom color with my company logo on them. They're going to be made by Lake. I saw an Instagram post where they had some gold shoes, and I was like, oh, I want a pair. So I'm getting them done. I just don't know how long it's going to take to get a custom pair of shoes made from them. But all the same type of thing, the kangaroo leather, the boas, everything in the color that I want. So I think that's freaking cool. So drop a comment down below and take a guess at what color shoes I am going to get for myself. So I think that's a testament to, and now I've got 2 pair of these 403s, but 1 pair is just too big, which was a 45.5, and this is the 45, and I think the 45 fits so well that I want to get a custom pair made. Okay, questions about PVP, please drop them down below. I'm happy to discuss PVP at length with folks. I found that it was difficult to find information on PVP before I went. So I'm trying to do a lot of videos for those that want to get ready for PVP in the future. And I hope that these videos pop up in their feed, as they get ready for 2027. But it doesn't have to be PVP. It could be anything that's really long distance, unsupported, and you're trying to find out what things you need to do or think about. So anyway, let's just call it for long distance stuff, but the title is going to be PVP. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. We did go over 5,000. I didn't get a chance to thank you folks. I need to get a screenshot or something up on the community post because I'm very grateful for those of you who have subscribed. So what's coming up in the next few days? Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm looking to do another edition of the Rev Show with Jessica and myself. I've got an unboxing of a Gillies Bertude leather saddle coming up. So I've got those 2 things over the next couple of days. And then this weekend, I've got Thomas Southwood, who is flying in to San Diego, and he's going to ride his bike across the country. And I have his bike here. I built it up yesterday, and I'm going to feature him in a video at some point. His schedule is going to be really tight. And then Saturday, hopefully post another video. I'll be hitting 10 million feet of climbing since I joined Strava in the latter part of 2012. Actually, there were some rides in 2011 as well. So 10 million feet of climbing. I'm going to celebrate it on my favorite mountain, and that's finger quote for favorite because I've suffered so much on that mountain. It's called Palomar Mountain, and I Everested. That was the first Everest I did because it has such a significant meaning to me. All the times that I've suffered on that mountain. So that was the first one I ever did, and that was 7 repeats on there. So it's depending on which way you go, but it's either a 4,200 foot climb, but I add a little extra here and there, so we can almost get 5,000 feet in one shot. So that's a significant climb that Tommy's going to be suffering, I'm sure. Okay, so that's all for today. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I've got quite a few videos coming up this week, and I look forward to seeing you up the road.